Yeah. You know what it is. We back. Um, we gonna have a really good episode today. I got one of my favorite people in the podcast universe, Precious. We've been really working on our chemistry. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to one of my past guests on Seed Talk, and that's my sister, incredible MC. I am Chanel. I had to rep her shirt. What is fear? I had to give her a shout out. Just now seeing her at the Mopop Museum while they were giving Sir Mix-a-Lot his award, giving his recognition as a hometown hero. So I was there because Fantasy A Gets a Mattress, the movie that I co-starred in, it was getting debuted there at Mopop. So that was exciting. It was cool. And the movie's blowing up, man. It got selected in a film festival in actually England,
Oh wow.
right outside of London. So I'm gonna make that trip, and I'm gonna go out there too and check that out. Um, so
I need to
um,
travel. I don't plan.
yeah,
I need to travel. I need to come to
yeah,
Seattle to see y'all. They not it's not that I don't want to come. It's just that I don't know how to plan and I get anxiety from it. So
yeah. We got some stuff coming up here in Seattle, especially with the hey Jermaine, he's hitting me up right now. I'm gonna ask him if he want to be on the show today. Um, but I got a grill party coming up, and uh that's the spoken word storytelling theater. I got a kickback coming up at December 16th, and we'll be gonna have some food, some DJs, we're gonna play games, dominoes, spades, and whatnot. We got an open mic. We're gonna have a DJ there. I said that right. But anyways, that's December 16th. And then we got an actual theater show at Langston Hughes January 13th. And we got basically a tribute to the Central District. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be awesome. But real quick, I'm gonna invite Jermaine on the show, see if he'll come on tonight. But real quick, I want to make sure y'all are sharing this, and y'all make sure y'all commenting. If y'all on YouTube, make sure y'all hitting that like button, and also that subscribe. Get those algorithms going. Like I've always said, the best way to support a black business is just to you know push play, on their podcast, and then walk away. We'd rather you sit and listen, but you can have this playing in the background. You know what I'm saying? While you
mhm.
driving to work, you can put it on while you cleaning your house. You know what I'm saying? When them bad kids running around the house, nah, kids ain't bad. It's just bad parenting. But anyways, put us on though. We got something good to offer, and make sure that you're donating. Um, go ahead, Cash App, Logic Got Man, and then Venmo at Logic Got Man. StreamYard ain't free. You know what I'm saying? So I need to pay for this premium subscription, and then just my time too. You know what I'm saying? So make sure I'll get that in. But we got some good stuff. Tonight we got two topics we gonna join in. We was just gonna talk about the one topic. We was just gonna talk about why black folks hate on each other. What's up with that? And when is it okay to criticize other black people when they get successful? And just why do we hate on each other? But then Precious, wanted to talk about this whole Nia Long thing. And she got a TV show. And I guess she got, trying to get, like Jada, and she is starting to interview people. And I guess she interviewed Jeezy. And out of nowhere, Precious just started to go in. And so I was like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Jeezy and Nia Long interview. And she's got some choice words. I'm gonna bring Danny on the show. We got Danny Marici backstage. What's going on? Say what's up.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to join in on this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
we gonna
once again,
we
what is the topic of conversation? What was
well
Nia Long and Jim talking about?
well here's the deal. We gonna let Precious get started, and before this is kind of like the pre-topic before the topic. She has some choice words to say about Nia Long. she used the P word. She used the word predatory, and she got some choice things to say. Danny, we're gonna introduce you. She's a podcaster herself. She got a very, very very adjacent, show to what we do here. She's really into building community, and I'm gonna give her an opportunity before this broadcast is over for her to promote her podcast. I was on her podcast, and very well done, very good questions and stuff. Made me feel important, man. I was like, man, maybe I am somebody after I got off of Danny's show.
You are important.
Thank you.
You are such.
I am going to try to get my man Jermaine on here. You know how Jermaine, he might come on here with a blunt, you know what I'm saying, with a double shot of vodka neat, you know what I mean? But with no further ado, Precious, go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead and go in. Get the children away from the screen, because she has been on a roll lately. Danny, get them kids away from this dang computer screen.
I will say this. I am like a sailor with my mouth at times. So forgive me in advance if you felt, I'm not feeling this. That's just how I roll when it comes to certain topics. And I consider this a space where I can be uncensored. Because every other area of life, I am censored. I have to sit. Well, let me take that back. Nowadays, I ain't censoring myself in them places no more either. But on here,
I was tuned into one of your conversations, Precious, and I forget the other gentleman's name, and I enjoyed hearing from you then. And you have to remind me what the topic was, but I think it was something about the battle of the sexes, men and women. I don't remember, but something along those lines.
We was talking about that list that women made.
Oh yeah, I think that was the last. The last video we made. I think.
Yeah, that was Wayman. Wayman's my guy, man.
Yeah, Wayman's a shout out to Wayman. I hope he getting his rest. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope Wayman getting his
rest. Wayman was our first guest. The fellas took a nap on the show.
He sure did. And I was like, hold up. Fine, let us come to the chase. So I'm not sure if y'all heard, but Jeezy was now. I don't know if Nia Long has her own show or whatever. I'm not sure how this conversation came about or who put it together. I have no idea. I just know people been talking about it or whatever. But long story short, Jeezy was being interviewed with Nia Long, and he basically was talking about his relationships in the past and his relationship with women and his mother or whatnot. Long story short, he basically said that he lacks intimacy with women. And that he brings up his traumatic childhood of being sexually assaulted by one of his mother's friends, and all the other stuff, and pretty much equate to why I guess none of his relationship with women is working, and I guess he's going to Nia Long and black women to tie up some loose ends or whatever the case may be. I saw a good 3-5 minute clip on TikTok, and all I could have said for that is, Jeezy, you ain't fooling no damn body. You can fool everybody else, but you're not fooling me in the least. And the reason why I say that is because of all people, why on earth would you choose Nia Long? First of all, I didn't know Nia Long even had the criteria to even be anybody's therapist, let alone a journalist. Unless her ass she went to school in the last 3-5 years that we just don't know about, then let me know. Chime in the comment, let me know. Perhaps she dabbling in this type of shit. Okay, cool. But I highly doubt it, judging by the way she would look at the way she would interact with Jeezy. To me, if he really wanted to do some healing or do some inner work, he'll been sitting down with somebody's therapist. Okay? He'll be talking to somebody's therapist or got somebody who a lot more equipped to answer and really delve into those conversations if he truly want to heal. So to me, I look at that, he was just ranting and wanted somebody to feel sympathy for him. But I ain't got none for him. Okay?
Why? Well, I gotta push back. I'm gonna let Danny jump in.
Go ahead. I'm getting tired.
But listen, hold on, man, because I got something more pressing that I'm gonna get into what he did in that interview that really bugs me. That's a little bit more pressing than the actual premise of him not sitting down with a therapist. If that's the case, then he couldn't even be on this broadcast. He couldn't be on Speak on It. Because we ain't therapists, but
that's perfectly fine. That's fine, because I don't think we play therapy on here.
a perfect example of what people been this. This is a good intersection with our other topic because you doing it right now, Precious. You doing it.
No. You can't say that.
You trying to knock this sister down? Yes, you are.
Being nobody's therapist. I'm not being
why
nobody's
you over
therapist.
here? Why you over here? Why you over here talking about Nia, man? She just being successful. She get her own show and all this stuff.
Successful, but I'm saying that she's not the correct person for that type of ordeal. That just
I never got that at all. I will just say I felt he was just doing a press run because he has a book out. And so I seen him on like 3 different platforms that week. So I saw him on Assets and Liabilities with the guys from Earn Your Leisure, Rashad and Troy. I saw him on Nia Long. And I know he went on, I think maybe Shannon Sharp, but I forget. So I just saw it as him doing a press run for his book. I didn't see it. The format of her show, I do see why you kind of get that feel, like the positioning, the panning right directly in the face. So I see why you get the feel of the therapy, but I didn't necessarily feel as though she was trying to play or placate on being a therapist, just that was just the format of the show. But it was a press run.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. And I kind of said the light behind stage. I'm not a fan that we're putting these hats on people for them to deliver these type. I'm not sure what was Nia's position, what it was. I'm not sure. Again, I didn't know Nia Long was doing that kind of stuff. That's just like from her to Jada. I didn't know Jada was nobody Earth Mom either, to the damn Red Table. I didn't know I thought she did that stuff. I didn't think she was that type. I'm not saying that she's incapable or she can't. I didn't know she was doing it. Long as Shannon Sharp. I said, I think that's a bad idea to put these hats on certain celebrities or certain people to expect them to deliver something that's not really meant for them to deliver. Like you say he was a press run. Okay, I didn't know he was pushing a book. All I know, people told me they did an interview together. I'm like, why are they doing this? I didn't know that Nia Long did interviewing. And then I brought up with Shannon Sharp. Instantly brought them up. I say, like, Shannon Sharp, I remember they had a video that I saw that he was questioning Waka Flocka, and I think something happened with his brother passing or whatever. And he brought that up. I said, that was wrong and tacky to bring up. Shannon Sharp, you don't do that type of interviewing like that to be talking about that type of subject. Like, no, that shit is predatorial to me. That wasn't your lane to add. Now, if you want to talk about his rap career or whatever the case may be, that's one thing. But talk about that stuff, like, ooh, that was distasteful as hell.
So who is in the space? Who would you say would be a good person to go to on a platform like that?
On a platform like that, get somebody who actually is skilled. Like, I'm not sure who are Black journalists of today. See, that's what another thing. We need to start promoting the upcoming journalists.
Dr. Umar.
Who?
Dr. Umar. He's a psychologist.
Stop.
Now, look here. Umar Johnson is a guilty pleasure, but he will not be the correct person to be talking about any of that stuff too.
Actually,
wait. No,
hold on. Wait. Time out. No, time out. Nah, I'm not letting you get away with this one, Precious. That ain't right.
Go ahead. This is Go ahead.
What is that?
It's a little damn lip next to me. I like Umar, but I don't know. I don't know. Does he do no top? I don't think Umar does.
No, what I'm saying is, I gotta push back because what you doing ain't right, because he is a clinical psychologist. So what better person to do a conversation that involves some kind of therapy and talking about your feelings and your behaviors and whatnot than an actual clinical psychologist?
Does he dabble in therapy though? He may be a clinical psychologist, but if that is his
used to be a school psychologist.
Yeah. He probably could. He probably more equipped than everybody else, if anything. But I don't see that being his niche of what he has done. But he probably could do something like that. That's out of everybody, sure. That's just like how I talked. Like somebody mentioned Amanda Seals. I'm not familiar with. I know of the name, but I mean I don't know about her like that to really ask those deep questions. I don't know.
I feel like you know who Amanda Seals is. You know who she is.
I think I know who she is, but I think she does do some interviewing, but I don't know if she does that kind of stuff though. I don't know if she does that kind of stuff though. Like, I don't know.
Well, she wrote a book.
Like,
I think
We don't have no Barbara Walters. We don't have our Barbara Walters. We don't have a Diane Sawyer. We don't have. I mean, that's Gayle King, but I don't know if Gayle King even want to do that type of stuff. Like, we don't have nobody who really going to ask those hard questions to really delve deep into it, to really get the most out of a person doing an interview, whether from journalism or therapy. But we talking about an angle of journalism. I don't know how many people we have today that can really ask those real questions. Because to me in that interview, I said, y'all ain't asking the right questions. Because I would have asked if I was licensed to be that, I would have asked the deep questions.
So Gayle King, she interviewed R. Kelly, and I don't think Gayle King would interview a Jeezy. So in that case, then what platforms can he go on? Because he's probably not welcome on a platform. Oprah, she still does interviews, and she specifically works with people who are authors, but I don't think she would have young Jeezy on her platform, and that's just me making assumptions. So then where do you go then when people are closing doors on you and you want to, get your points across, you want to push your book, you want to spread your message, where do you go?
Well, I think it's this. I think it's twofold, and I think it's fair. I just think that Precious need to get her, I think you need to get your criteria a little solid first. What I do hear you saying is you're just not really buying people, putting a mic in front of them and a camera, press and record with a host, and with a guest, and have no credentials behind you. Like no journalistic credentials other than you are known to stand in front of a camera, look good while doing it, and maybe win some, some awards here and there. You think they should have a little bit more credentials behind them. And I understand that because a person like Nia Long could get in a spot before a person like Malik, or Fundisha, who've been grinding their whole life as journalists, as young Black journalists or whatnot, but then their opportunity gets taken away from a Nia Long just because she's like the honorary journalist or the honorary, psychologist or therapist. I get that. But I feel like if the person who is in the interview allows it to happen, especially if they pre-brief and they know they're going to be asked those questions, I'm in radio, so when I did radio, even for 91.3, when we were live and doing interviews, there was just, we briefed, and there's certain questions you couldn't ask. So if they want to talk about these things, if he wants to talk about, I think you were saying that he was talking about how he was sexually assaulted or abused.
Yeah, talking about something like
that.
Traumatic, by his mother friend. I think that's who she was. But yeah, something of the midst of that, yes.
But I think that's important for Black men to, I think more Black men need to talk about that. I think
I'm not saying that he shouldn't talk about it at all, but to Nia Long of all people, like what's the end?
Well, he probably talked about it in his book.
Long, but it's for everybody who's listening, all of us.
Yeah, because he, like Danny said, I could see why he would say that, because now it makes me want to read the book. It definitely makes me want to read the book. It don't make you want to read his book?
No. No. Like I
so
know like he probably went on there to support his book, but I'm like, but you chose this particular Black woman that everybody in the Black community loves. Like you didn't get somebody who's really gonna ask you some questions. Like who really gonna delve into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm an in-depth person. I'd be looking for someone to really ask them questions. Mm-hmm. All right, like Charlamagne, not my favorite person, but one thing I can give it Charlamagne, he asked them hard questions that nobody is afraid to ask.
He does.
That's what I mean by interviewing. If you really want to get there, but Charlamagne probably not equipped either, because he a little.
I was gonna say Charlamagne, he does have his very serious moments, and I'm a Charlamagne God fan, but he also is very immature when it comes to sensitive topics like that. He makes a joke out of everything. So, I
mean. He did an interview with Kanye. I thought that was a little how you call it? What do I look for? It was kind of out there, but hey,
I think Charlamagne will be a good person because he has that book that talks about depression and mental health called Shook Ones. I had his first book, Black Privilege. I read that one, but he has another one out, and I think that'll be a really good. I agree with Danny. He has said some very immature stuff. And
even when it comes to him being touched, he's made jokes about that stuff.
Well, you can do that when it's happened to you. He talked about that in his first book, how he been touched. So he can, he can do that. I mean, that's a part of the rules. They say, if it's happened to you or you are one of them, then you can make fun of it. So, but he has a set of allegations too, though. You know what I'm saying?
That
So
is also true.
that might make him a little bit disqualified. And yeah, he is really, immature, but he has earned his stripes as a journalist, though, to at least, be in the conversation of people to have those, saying really hard conversation. Back in the day, it used to be Tavis Smiley before, he had out his, allegations and whatnot. I think he has some allegations too of like sexual harassment or some stuff like that. I think Karen Hunter would be a good person. She does a show with Greg Carr, but she's pretty good. But my thing is this: if the people are willing to tell you about their life, then I don't see what the problem is. And they chose you to interview them. What will be? I don't understand what the problem is. But I want to know from you is like what, because I haven't watched the whole interview, but what are some questions that you would want, Nia Long to ask? Because it seemed like he kind of beat her to it. Because like what could be a deeper or more sensitive question than talking about how you were sexually assaulted? Like what kind of questions would
I'm
you
not
want
sure
to
if
be
he
asked?
volunteered that answer or she asked about it. But the question I would ask, especially he also talked about his short-lived marriage with Jeannie Mai or whatever. The question I would ask is, you having these problems, you knew that you have unaddressed issues, but yet you still went into this marriage with this woman that you claim, you said yourself, you like intimacy with women. Is there a reason why you didn't get that fixed before you indulge in these relationships?
Oh, come on, Precious. That ain't
That's
fair.
the question you really would have asked. If you really want to be
No,
that
I know. I think it's a good question, but I don't think it. I think it's kind of a leading question, and what I
is
mean by
it?
that is, what I mean by that, I can kind of get the sense that you're saying that he had no business being married to this woman if he knew he had baggage.
Is that not what we be promoting? Like, that's the point.
And that's why I say it's not fair, because that could be a whole different episode. Hold on real quick.
And
Because
go ahead,
then no black folks, hardly any black folks will be getting together, because we got so much trauma just due to, our skin color and how we're being treated. Like there are so many black people that have trauma.
I understand that, and I do agree with you. The overall concept is what I got from that is that while he may have his trauma and his issues, he was not taking any accountability for what he has still have done. You're still accountable regardless what kind of trauma you have. He would have taken for any of it. Yes, you knew these things, but you have created not one, not two, but now 4 broken households. You have created this. And you can say that
he got 4 he has 4 children with 4 different women.
Yeah, he had 3 different women. Yeah. Well, now Jeannie Mai, I'm saying 4 because now Jeannie Mai because they're divorcing. I'm like, and you're out here saying that, oh, because of your relationship with your mother, whatever. Are you really gonna blame everything on her? Really?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
It was a lot of layers to that interview. I just remember I just watched that short clip of what they'll talk about. I did hear some other people talk about the other half that he said, and I'm just like, at what point do you come in as a person? They say, you know what, this is my accountability. Yeah, okay, you had a crummy childhood, so he has a lot of people. Where do you come in at? Do you take accountability for these things? Because despite what kind of trauma or what you're going through, you're still accountable for these things. And you allowed to repeat it 4 times. And he's like 48. How old is G? Like his 40s?
I don't know if he's hit his 40s yet. I can look it up though.
Yeah, look it up. That's the point I'm getting at. You get on this show to talk about you ain't showed no sign of accountability for whatsoever.
Maybe that's a part of his journey of being accountable, is to talk about what he needs to work on. I mean, a lot of people say the first step is, not denying it. It's, accepting that's what you need to work on. So let's talk a little bit. Hold on. I don't want to talk about you saying talk show hosts like this, like Oprah and these people are predatory? Like,
I
explain
think they can
that.
be predatory sometimes
Why you say that?
because you come. That guy talked about Oprah last day. Now, you may be right. You may be right. Oprah she may have a duty to fulfill, but I find it so predatory to try to interview Whitney Houston family after she passed, the day after she passed away. I think that was so tacky. I can see if it's been a month, but you go the day after. I thought that shit was so strange. Even I was like, maybe hold on, that was 2012. I was like 22. I thought that was so strange. Why would you prey on these people at a vulnerable moment just for you to get an interview? Why would you do that? Even when Shannon Sharp asking Walker Flocka about his deceased brother, are you equipped to ask these type of questions? Are you?
What
Really?
what kind of credentials do you need to ask a question? We're talking about just asking a question.
As serious for him to ask me any question about my personal life. Okay.
What's wrong with Shannon Sharp? Why don't you take, man? You got to say what you mean and mean what you say, because I think I know where you're going with this. And I heard it from other people too. What is wrong with Shannon Sharp?
Ain't he like a sports broadcast? Whatever he is. I know he be on ESPN. Like,
man,
I don't think.
Man, why are you trying to? Why are you trying to put
people
this?
Can
why
delve into whatever they want to do.
Why are you trying to put this brother in the box?
What?
Why are you trying to put this brother in the box, man?
I ain't trying to put him in a box, but that's not your niche. That's not your thing.
That's a box. That's a box, sis. That's a box.
I'm not.
Now, you know what though?
That's not your niche. I just got it crazy for.
No, I think
I may be the only one. I think that shit's predatory. No,
I understand what you're saying. You can see it more than one ways. You know how I like to do it. I mean, you can see it from more than one angle and more than one perspective. I can see why you could say it's not your niche. It's not your place. I feel the same way when I'm seeing Lil Wayne now is actually, you know what I'm saying, ironically, is taking Shannon Sharp's position on the show now, and he's talking sports. And I'm like, number one, for me, it's kind of just, it's a task, man, even just to look at Lil Wayne. It's a task. It's a lot going on with Lil Wayne. I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm not saying he's handsome. I'm not saying anything. It's a task.
You said it, not me. I ain't said nothing.
No, because listen, real quick, I'm just trying to read all the damn tattoos on his face and see what they say. I'm really trying to understand what they say. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and he just got a lot, man. But anyways, so I understand on that end, but on the other end, I'm like, we got to allow for, you know, people, especially black folks, to expand, you know what I'm saying, and be more than just the lane that we're used to them being in. So do you think it's predatory when talk show hosts do things like this, like when Kevin Samuels died and then people start putting up their interviews they had with him like within the 24 hours to get their views up, allegedly? You think that's predatory?
I call it an opportunist. I call it an opportunist, but I don't know who those people are. Like, these people they don't have a huge platform like a Shannon Sharp, or they got a platform they could do those things on. Someone coming on a podcast or behind a camera like we're doing ain't gonna do nothing, because again, we're just talking about our unsolicited opinion.
I'm talking about people like Vlad TV. He got Vlad TV. DJ Vlad got a lot of heat. Well, not a lot of heat. He got a heat from like Joe Budden, for instance, because when Kevin Samuels died, within 24 hours, DJ Vlad had put up videos of the interview. He had reposted, the videos. And I think that Adam 22 did it also. You know what I'm saying? So
I call it opportunity. I don't know if I would call that predatory, but I would definitely say it's an opportunity to get some views. Absolutely. That's just like this gonna sound wild, but I still remember when Kobe Bryant passed away. I remember getting on a Roku channel app, and they already got a documentary out about his passing. Now, how the fuck you even did that and this man just passed? Like, how the hell did y'all even come up with this?
I wasn't feeling when Gayle King went out of her way to ask the questions about the sexual assault to the other sister. I forget.
Leslie something. Leslie, yeah, I think Leslie, her name. Her
Oh, I
Gail
thought
is a
It was either,
journalist. Go ahead,
yeah,
Hope.
yeah. I think it was a former WNBA player. I want to say it was Lisa Leslie, but it
Yeah, I think that was her. Yeah, I
might
think
have been
that's her
Cheryl
name.
Swoops. It was somebody. It was one of those legends, and then she went out of her way to, talk about Kobe Bryant's, past sexual assault allegations in the whole court trial after he had passed away. So
it was
I
her.
understand. Yeah.
What Gail King fucked up at is that she should have made it personal. Gail King, the journalist, I expect her to ask those tough questions. What she fucked up at was when she asked, "Oh well, you think your view is skewed because you were friends with him?" That's what she should not have said because now she made it personal. That's where Gail King overstepped her boundary, and that's why she got cut up the way she cut up. That's why she got cut the way she cut up. She could have said that, "Do you believe your friend was dead?" Because unfortunately, that's part of his legacy. Those type of questions will be asked. She once lady said, "No, I don't think he was a person." She should have moved on to the next question, not kept on delving on and made it personal. And that's what Gail King did, and that's what she got. That's why she got the backlash that she got. She shouldn't have asked that question. But y'all
Dang,
go ahead.
Jeezy is, man. He is older, and he must have got started a little bit later than I thought. He's 46. I did not know Jeezy was that old. That's not really old, but I didn't know he was older like that. Dang, can't really tell from his music because he's still, talking, about stuff that. But I guess you can be a 46-year-old drug dealer. So,
See, that's that shit I was
anyways,
talking about. But go ahead, let's go. That's that shit I'm talking about, right there. That's what you just confirming why
but
I
he
feel the way
is.
I feel.
But look, let me say this, man. Because I really want to get to the stuff that I'm really, really, I think is a
Go ahead.
real pressing matter more than anything what he did in that interview. But it does say a lot when there is a 46-year-old rapper who has been very successful that in one aspect of the literary game, which is reciting his rhymes, he's a poet, and then entering into another aspect of the literary game and writing your book. I mean, this is another example. I'm telling you, man, this is kind of adjacent to you, like, getting on black people who are just trying to be more successful. I mean, it's getting kind of closer to the Shine example. It's like, why you got to talk about Jeezy? He done wrote this book. He's trying to do better.
Is he?
How many rappers actually rap on a mic, be successful, and then actually write a book? That shows some graduation.
Him? I'm not talking about him writing a book. He could write a book all day. That's not the problem. He talked about his issues, but not one time that he ever took any accountability. He's putting
But
the
that's
blame of things
elevation,
that
though.
happened to him. But I'm like, okay, we know
But I
this
think
didn't
that's a
happen.
step, though. That's a step to take being accountable is to talk about that you actually are doing these things. Like, and that's something that you need to work on. Now he needs to take the next step and stop blaming other people if that's what he's doing. Cause I haven't, really, delve into it, you know what I'm saying? But if he's actually saying I'm doing these things and I know I can do better, that's the first step, isn't it?
Technically, yes. I don't know if that's what he said at the end, toward the end of it, because I know Neil Long was talking about, well, I never had this conversation with a black man before, but I'm like, I don't think that was your role to be there, just have that unless that was the initial point of that whole interview was for them having exchange with each other, kind of like with Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin. I'm not sure they're supposed to be that type of interview. That's a different type of setting right there. But it seemed like Jeezy was there to talk, I guess, about whatever he wanted to do. So I don't
So
know,
I
but
want
that's
to
a good
ask
ass
the
question.
question.
But that's a good ass question. Talk host show, the new therapy, the life coach. That's what it's about to turn into. That is exactly
I want to
what it's
ask,
about to turn into.
hold on, Precious. Dang, she on a good one, boy. If I
That's
have
my
my
second
sound
answer. Go
effects
ahead,
on,
I'm gonna shut up for a minute.
I'll be ringing the fight bell. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, I want y'all out there in the comments to say, hey, man, what do y'all think about what we've been talking about so far? Do you think talk show hosts are the new therapists and the life coaches? Is this like some gimmick? Do you like how this is trending? Like, is this low hanging fruit? What do y'all think? And I want to get to what do you think before I get to what my real issue is with Jeezy in that interview. What do you think about what we've been talking about, Danny?
I just think that it is a step in the right direction. I think maybe he did do the interview with Nia Long because it is him evolving, stepping in a different direction. He's getting older. His new album that he also just released is no longer talking about the drugs and all of the stuff from the streets. I didn't hear that on his new album.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
What?
Go ahead. Yeah, yes. Yes.
Really?
Go ahead. Yeah. I was listening to it. Yeah, but go ahead. I'm listening
Well,
now.
we all need to do some more studying, clearly. But on the album, I did not hear, at least the songs that I picked out. I didn't hear it.
Right.
I just thought it was maybe him stepping into his own, a refined look, a polished look. Maybe that's why he chose to do his interview with Nia Long. As far as our talk show hosts, the new therapists and life coaches, they don't have the credentials, but yeah, I think that maybe it is low hanging fruit because that's where people are tuning in. We're watching all of the podcasts. We're plugged into the podcast because, and I think you also, Precious, you mentioned this, Nia Long, she has a large platform. So that's where people are going to be pushed to. And so I think that is another reason why somebody would want to go on such a platform. And I personally think maybe this is the millennial in me. Maybe, I don't know. I just think it's a good look.
Go ahead, Precious. What you got?
I just thought of, if I came to mind, I think also why Jeezy probably chose Nia because she has safe space. She's safe. She has safe option.
Yeah, she's really nice to look at too.
She is soft. She has a soft spot. And Nia Long, okay, y'all gonna piss. I'm gonna piss some of y'all off. And y'all gonna piss. He went towards somebody who's more likely going to be coddling more than they're going to be invested in what he's saying.
Really?
So you just really wanted the hard punching questions. That's you said that, but you just really wanted somebody to lay in and dig in and get the meat.
You ask the question. Ask some questions. Cause I felt like now sitting here thinking about, you know what? That's probably why he did choose it. Now it didn't dawn on me to maybe because why? That's a safe space. She's not gonna back. He knows she wasn't gonna ask those type of questions. She wasn't gonna ask it.
You know what?
She gonna be there, be a good listener, and to everything he got to say. She wasn't gonna push back on anything. She ain't gonna ask any questions that's going to, to really to dig into the conversation. She's gonna be there and be a good listener. Okay.
I just want to add this perspective in this too, just from a journalistic thing and just from how public relations go. Like his public relations team is out here doing all this stuff. Jeezy, more than likely, I'm pretty confident, is not, making phone calls. He might have a wish list of places that he wants to interview and be. Like, I really want to, So we have to keep that in mind too, that his PR team are making these calls and saying, hey, he's got a new book on, coming out. We're starting this, this publicity tour. Would you want to be down? But let's not take out the scenario that Nia Long was pursuing him too, that she likes his music, that she thinks he's attractive. He's available now. She's available now. And that he might have been on her wish list. Like, man, she might have been telling her producers, because that's what people do who have podcasts. They have producers. Really good podcasts have producers, and they give their producers a list. Reach out to this person. Reach out to this person. Reach out to this person. And the producer sets everything up. Yeah, we got Jeezy at Sunday at 3:00 Pacific Standard Time. Boom, boom, boom. So, which brings me to my next thing. The problem I had with Jeezy was the amount of dirty macking this man was doing on this dang show, man. This guy was terrible. I will quote. He goes in now. Precious, wasn't this man talking about how he cheated on his former wife? His recent former wife.
Oh, I don't know if there's any infidelity. I don't know if there was any.
Okay. Let's
I do not
scratch
know.
that from objection. Scratch that from the record. Allegedly, that's not even allegedly. Okay, I thought you had maybe said that. It still doesn't. It still holds up to the reason why I'm a little triggered right now. I'm dirty macking on the play. I'm throwing a flag. This dude said, and which he has. Speaking of, Danny mentioned his new album. He has the "Don't Cheat" number 13 on his album. This dude gonna go on record saying to Nia Long, real niggas don't cheat. Hell nah, they do not. They do not. It's something in us that makes us want to be right across the board. And then he goes in to basically, you know what I'm saying? He's dirty macking, shooting his shot at Nia, who's fresh off of her separation from her husband who cheated on her. And he's basically saying, hey, man, if I was you, if I was him, I would never cheat on you. This dude is on some Joe. He dirty macking worse than the R&B singer Joe right here. What's that one song, Precious, where Joe was doing it? If y'all out there in the comments, get in the comments right now. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. What's the name of that song?
Which one?
Oh man, Joe be doing some dirty macking with his.
I know he got that one song. If I was your man, if I was your man.
I want to know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, that's probably the one, boy. Joe.
Oh, I don't want to know.
I think
I want to know.
Yeah. Listen, let's be clear. I think I'm on to something. I think that Jeezy might do a song and might have Joe on the hook, because you know he the king of hooks. Let me find out that Joe and Jeezy got a song coming out. You know what I'm saying? And don't let there be Nia Long in the lyrics.
She'll be in the music video.
Oh, no. All the things your man won't do. That's the song I'm talking about. Boy, that boy was dirty macking on that song, boy.
All the things. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Things
oh, yes. I'm doing them for you. Yes.
Yeah. That was a weird lyric in that song. Talking about to your mama.
Man.
Like that was a weird lyric.
And I don't own the rights to this music, but listen. Hey, man, for real, man. I want to know real quick before we go on to this next topic. I really got to ask this question, man. Have you ever had a dude practice dirty macking to get with y'all? Have y'all ever had that happen?
As a practice? I don't. Maybe they was
yeah.
practice. I want to.
Danny didn't had it. He didn't got on the phone or, was talking to her. I was like, yeah, man, you shouldn't hook up with Malik. You know what he be doing. Yeah, that. No, he ain't gonna do no better.
That's dirty macking. I don't know what dirty macking is. Oh, so when somebody's in your ear telling you why you shouldn't be with somebody else?
Or or telling you why you shouldn't be who you're actually with at the time. Danny, where you been at, man?
I think you might be 10 years my senior.
It doesn't matter. I gave you a great
dirty
example of how.
Dirty macking is not something I know about.
Yeah, I never know it was called Dirty Mackie. I didn't know what it was about.
Oh my goodness! But y'all know the song. You know the song. All the things your man won't do. Y'all know who Joe is, though, right?
Yes.
So stop it. I gave you an example too, where Jeezy was like, you know what I'm saying? I would never cheat on you like your former husband. That's dirty macking. And then he shot his shot.
Yeah,
that's
what it was called. I didn't know it was called Dirty Mackie. But yeah, I've had men do that, but I would never sold on it because I'm like, hell, if you're already saying that tell me you will do this shit.
Yeah.
You will do this shit because you see what I'm dealing with right now. So technically I would have experience for you to do it. So nah, I won't be sold. But let's go to the next topic.
Yeah, let's go to the next topic. Won't you go ahead and introduce it? Because we had been scrolling through social media. We came to the social media post where people were criticizing the rapper Shine. I don't know if he still raps anymore, but if y'all don't know who Shine is, you don't know who he is? Okay.
No, Shine, he doesn't rap. Isn't he like a governor somewhere?
We're getting to it. So Shine used to be with Puff Daddy on Bad Boy Records. Allegedly, there was a murder at a nightclub, and allegedly Shine, took credit for it and, took the fall for Puff Daddy. That's what people were saying. So he went to prison. He sat down for a while, for a pretty long time. He gets out of prison, and now they're showing pictures online where it's kind of like it's kind of like him in a baggy jersey and a baggy pair of jeans on one side, and then on the other side, it's him standing, in a shirt and a tie, you know what I'm saying, trying to get his politician on. And so people were like, you were saying that you were seeing that people were criticizing him, that he's now, getting into politics and dressing up and things of that nature. And just share with us and unpack, some of the conclusions you came to based on people criticizing Shine.
I'm gonna go ahead and start this because it's based off the post I shared last night. And I know that this gentleman made a remark saying that now Shine used to be this cold ass rapper back in the day or whatnot. I remember who Shine is because he had that track I still blast every now and then. But he made this comment saying now this dude's ain't nothing but a square. And I reshared the post say it's called growth. He grew up. I hope he not out here doing illegal shit at 49, 50 years old. That's what I mean. He took accountability and made his life better. He had improved his life. He did a 180 turn and made his life better. He's safer. He looks great. He's doing other impactful things in life that doesn't really, at least that we know of, not harming anybody. So, Logic I made a comment, and y'all may disagree with me. I said I noticed when it comes to black men, a lot of black men don't like to see it when men do successful, especially if they come from a past that's kind of violent, probably not as palatable as it should be, probably not as positive or whatnot, and they transit to do something better. All of a sudden, they feel like this man has betrayed them. He turned his back on them because he has made a better proof for their life. Of course, a lot of pushback say women do criticize women too. Yeah, but the thing is, women criticize other women based on respectability politics. If it's not about her hair, it's about the way she looks. If it ain't about the way she looks, how she dresses. About her dress and how she behaves. If she classy or she ratchet. It's based off of those narratives, and if it's validation to a man. And in other words, it's basically more the patriarchal reasons. I don't recall. I could very well be wrong. I don't know a black woman coming at another black woman who actually went and did a 180 in her life and improved her life. And a prime example of that is Black China. We all know Black China was all over the damn place, fooling around with the crazy ass Kardashians or whatever. And she did this 180 turn to become this church lady. Now, all the women was happy for her. They were put on saying that she's doing great for her life. I'm glad she found light. She found the light. She done found God. I'm happy for her. I have not seen not one negative post about that woman ever since she did that church. Ever since she turned her life over. But Shine, I think Shine did become a Muslim, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did went Muslim after, whether in prison or after prison, and he did a 180 turn. But we see these men calling him a square. I'm like, what makes this man a square? He doing better for his life.
I think he's an Orthodox Jew.
I thought he went Muslim. Okay, my mistake. So. My apologies on that. So to your question, when is it okay to criticize black people when it's to get successful? When they weaponize their success to hurt other black people. That's the only time I will find an issue with their success. Other than that, I don't see no other reason for a black person to criticize anybody when they get successful or when they hit that big break. Unless black people get to a point where they get successful and they turn around to weaponize to hurt other black people for their own advantage or for their own opportunity or individualistic pursuits.
Well, what makes you think that what he's doing right now as a politician isn't detrimental or harmful to the black community?
Well, that's the part. I didn't know he was going into politics like that. I don't know what kind of hit politics that's going to be harmful to black people. Like, I'm not sure I'm not sure where he's at for these type of things. I know he's not in the U.S. I believe he got deported back to wherever he came from, but I don't know exactly where he came from. Now, if it was something in the lands of that, then that's different. But they come at him simply because he turned his whole life around and he ain't gang banging like he used to be. Now, if they want to talk about his politics and what it had done to the black people in his community and what harm, they go for it. I would let the gloves off. But that's not the narrative that happened in that post. They'll talk about how he actually made a change to make his life better. So that's my point.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. There's so much to unpack in this. And I do want to get to Danny and see what she has to say. But I also want to get to another question I have. But just leading up to it, you had made a comment that I pushed back a little bit on, and you had said that this is like, typical of, you touched on it when you were just now talking. But this is typical of black men criticizing other black men more than, black women do themselves, like when they're being successful, when they're turning their life around. And for me, I just think that it all comes out in the wash. Like, this is what we've been programmed to do. Anytime a black person becomes successful, it kind of triggers us, and it kind of seems like we have to take the stance to say something about them, because it kind of like triggers our trauma, like they're aligning themselves with success because we associate success with white folks, you know what I'm saying, and doing the right thing, and dressing up and a shirt and a tie and things of that nature. A lot of things has changed, and there's a lot of cognitive dissonance too, because shoot, I never saw Malcolm X outside of a a suit or something, unless it was like, shoot, even when he was pimping, he was in a suit. But maybe when he went to Mecca or something, he might have like just a collar shirt on or something like that. I think there's a little bit of cognitive dissonance if we think that success gives us closer proximity to whiteness, that becomes a threat. So I do understand that, but I don't think black men do it to each other more than black women. I think black women bring down other black women just as much as black men try to bring down other black men.
Yes, based off what I stated, based off respectability politics, yes, women do bring down other women based off of those factors. But I don't recall black women coming at another for doing better for herself. But as long it falls in the parameters of the respectability politics or the patriarchy that women are still internalizing, as long as it falls in that parameter. What I've noticed with black men, anytime they do any sort of movement, I've noticed, like, why is that a problem? Like, if it's not dealing with anything in the streets or whatnot, for some reason, it's something negative. Not saying for all black men do it, but I know it tend to be very common. Especially for that remark that dude made. I'm like, that's a really remark to say. Like, what would you say about this 49, 50-year-old man? Like, you really think he'll still be gang? Well, shit, look at Jeezy. He 46 still talking about that shit. But the point is, this man make a different choice. But I think nobody go. But here's the thing: Jeezy may be talking about this shit, but I don't know no black man go get mad at him for talking about it. How many black men?
Let's be clear: I don't have a problem with Jeezy still talking about when he used to sell drugs or just about selling drugs. Period. If it's a part of his story, and he is still an entertainer.
Sure, correct.
Jeezy ain't his real name. So he's an audio actor at the end of the day. He can write it off legally and say, hey man, I was just acting. You know what I'm saying? This is art. You know what I'm saying? Right. We all, that's always going to be my argument when it comes to hip hop, but we all know that for some reason, wink, wink, there's always this double standard when it comes to hip hop. I mean, it's one of the few things where people can actually go to prison based on some stuff that they say in a rap song. This happens so many times. What you think, Danny, about what we're talking about?
I'm still trying to process, because I made a comment on your post, but it was a whole different direction. And so I need to think about what you actually posted and circle back. Because
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. Listen. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
You posted something about it was more. I made a comment to say I think that women do criticize each other a lot more, but I think black men back it up, and I meant something totally different.
Oh yeah. That was you?
Yes.
Oh, she's talking about on my post. So what do you mean they back it up? What you mean by that? You wasn't talking about.
Well, I had the emojis like pew, pew. And he made a comment under that too. And I don't remember what it said. So yeah.
Well, women can back it up. They can get a gun too and shoot somebody.
Yeah, but that's not
they do, but you don't
come to that type of stuff though.
Yeah, you don't hear that. And I do have to agree with Precious. I was trying to really think about it. It is more on a surface level that I do hear about women attacking the way that we look, and those type of things. But I can't recall any story. I'm sure they exist, but I can't think of one in the mainstream media as of recent where women are getting attacked just for Megan Thee Stallion. That might be the best example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talked about that. Precious and I talk about that. I think that's a great example of how sister, what's her name? I can't even think right now. India Irie came after Janae Monet and Megan Thee Stallion for twerking during the Essence. Like, they're successful black women. Would you
Exactly,
rather?
but the thing is, she's criticizing her from a respectability politics standpoint. She's criticizing them because of how they're dressing, how their body. Personally, I think they think a mega body is out this fucking world. That woman body is banging. I think that kind of stem from that type of stuff, respectability politics. That's what I'm saying is women do criticize other, but she's not criticizing because she's doing better than her. Well, maybe, but I don't think that's really it. I think what she talked about her twerking. She talked about her twerking or being happy.
Well, even bigger than that, I don't know that she necessarily criticized Janelle Monáe or Megan Thee Stallion for twerking per se, but it was on that platform that they were bringing this whole new different energy at the Essence Award. Festival. And I think that was the bigger issue. Just like where have we come to that we're now twerking at the Essence Festival, where we're bringing our daughters with us. we're coming in droves, women empowerment, and now we have twerking and things, booty widespread. So that's what that was. But back to your question, original question, I think Megan Thee Stallion got the most critique because of the situation that she was in with like Tory Lanez. People just thought the worst of her because Tory Lanez is now in prison and she seemed to get all of the backlash. I don't remember Tory Lanez getting the equal amount of backlash for that situation, and come to find out he is the one behind bars now. So, but I don't know any examples, and I'm still trying to process exactly what this topic is.
And what you also brought is a good point, Miss Danny, because that's exactly what I said. If it's women tend to attack or criticize other women, if it's not off of respect to be politics, it's from a man or some form of patriarchy. And that situation is because of Tory Lanez. Because there were women who were for Tory Lanez and believed that Megan was a liar. There were black women who still believe that Megan was a fucking liar and she wasn't being truthful. So yeah, if anybody respect to be politics, it's a validation of a man. One of the two is not both. That's what.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, whether it's respectability politics or, when it comes to a woman talking stuff about another black woman for showing too much for her body or blah blah blah, or if it's a black man talking about another black man, look at you, you ain't banging no more, you ain't selling drugs, you ain't street, you a square now. It's the same outcome. You still hating on another black person for being successful. It's the same outcome, no matter how you do it. And my thing about the reason why I see it as the same thing when India Irie did it to Megan Thee Stallion and Janae Monáe, probably saying her name wrong, pardon self.
Yes, you are saying her name wrong.
Well, how do you say it again?
There is a Janae Aiko, and then there's Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe is the
Janelle Monáe. My bad.
But
anyways, my thing is like, you are low key, you know what I'm saying, trying to impact their bag. And I got a problem with that. Let these women get their bag. Listen, if you are going to the Essence Festival and you see those two people, those two artists on the roster, knowing their track record, knowing their resume, go look at some of Janelle Monáe's recent videos prior to going to the Essence Festival. You should see what she's getting down with. She's being very open and honest about her sexuality. She has some pretty raw videos, her getting down with women. It speaks for itself with Megan Thee Stallion. WAP went big. Okay. So if you're going to bring your 2-year-old, your 3-year-old, all your underage people to that, then that's on you. Why are you trying to mess with their bag? Leave your comments to yourself. Like I said before, it'd be better if you went live, you went public and said, man, I'm happy that these sisters have graced the same stage that I have graced in the past. It's their time now, because I used to be all over, that Essence stage. I would love to collaborate with them to do some music together, or even just get together and have a conversation, do a podcast or something, just to talk about the diversity in black women and how we're not a monolith. No, but instead you decided to go on there and publicly hate on them and say this is not up for discussion. If it's not up for discussion, then when you put it out there, you just wanted to have a one-way street where you could talk stuff about these black women while they're being successful while they're getting their bag, and you just had to say something, sounding like an old head hater. And at the end of the day, you sounding like a hater. You sounding just like the men who are making fun of Shine, calling them square.
The one thing I would disagree on is that it is not the same outcome. You mentioned that both lead to the same outcome, and that's basically where I was trying to take it when I made that comment on your post. So you said, do Black men tear each other down more than Black women tear each other down? And my response was, I think women do most of the talking, but men back it up. So it is not the same outcome. We don't hear women on a daily basis killing each other in the streets. So we can talk all we want, but it does not get to a point where we're enacting violence on each other to the magnitude that men are, in the streets. Now, recently we heard about the young lady who went to Cancun and got killed, or her friends jumped her. We hear about some of those stories, but it does not happen as often as we hear about men. So that is the only thing I would push back on, is the outcome is definitely not the same. And we definitely need to get better about that, killing our own people. And so to that, you also responded, Logic, interesting takes, maybe because the men have more social power to back it up. So I would like to hear from you as to what you meant by that.
What I meant by that, well, to answer that question, I have another question. Why do we automatically go to women don't kill other Black women as much as Black men kill other Black men? Why do we automatically jump to the harm is conflated to actual killing? I work in a high school, and the women do the most harm to other women than anybody else. So I'm trying to figure out, why does it have to be conflated and minimalized to women don't kill other Black women more than Black men kill other Black men? Why is that your indicator?
Well, first of all, you have a question. Do Black men do more, or do Black women? That's number one. I said disproportionately, I feel like we don't hear it like we hear about men who are killing each other in the streets. Not to say that any of it is good. It's both wrong. And definitely I do agree that we should not, frame it that way. But you asked the question, which is more? So I'm answering.
So you're saying that it's Black men tear other Black men down more because it more often leads to death than it does.
I'm saying we both do it, but I feel like the outcome is more men are killing each other. So as far as tearing each other down, we kill each other. Black men are killing each other.
I think what she's saying is we both playing the same game, but the impact with men is a lot more harder than when it comes to women. We're playing the same game, like the impact is just different. Like it's like comparing the Pee Wee League to the what's another baseball what's that damn baseball team? It's like the Pee Wee League to the New York Bravers or whatever they call them. Like they playing the same sport. But
talking about the minor leagues and the major leagues,
yeah, the minor league, yeah, pretty much. They're playing the same sport, but the impact is just totally different.
And I think that comes down to social power, though. I mean, that probably
is a bit of a male privilege. That's probably why it is on a harder level. So I think in a way, Black because of that, it may seem or it could come up as Black men do criticize other Black men more.
I just didn't know why. I think that harm is harm, though. And I think that, of course, death or rape is it's like the apex of harm, right? It's like the alpha of harm. But we don't have to go to that apex to really quantify the amount of harm that is done when someone's tearing someone else down. You see what I'm saying? Sure. We don't have to go to death. We can just go to the amount of harm that is done when a person wants to kill themselves. I mean, if you really want to get deep into the weeds, we can talk about how much criticism from that, that a black woman receives from another black woman that leads to them to having suicidal thoughts or actually being, suicidal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure the numbers are pretty high too. Like I see it a lot. Like these young ladies are ruthless on social media. They're ruthless. And like Precious said, it's a lot of times because they're assuming that patriarchal role, just like basically coming from a perspective that a man would take looking at a woman and looking at all the things that a man would find wrong with a woman and adopting that personality. Oh, look at your edges. You know what I'm saying? Well, why would I care about how your edges look in comparison to mine, or how short hair mine? Because that's what a man says when he goes through the picking order. He's going to pick a woman that has better edges. He's going to pick a woman with better edges, a better body. Why are girls talking about other women and the size of their booties, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, or how big their breasts are, or whatever, their skin color? Because usually black men are creating this criteria and this rubric, and then it's being accepted by other young ladies saying, yeah, I'm gonna adopt that too, because a man told me this is what an ugly woman looks like. I'm gonna point out all the things that the men say that is wrong with black women, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use it to tear her down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they brought back to my point that I said earlier.
Yeah, but listen, it doesn't have to even lead to death. The fact that you're tearing another black woman down, and you can never ever put a hand on her, but you're killing her self-esteem, that's killing enough.
Sure. Totally.
And I think that
I can agree with that.
What's up, man? I gotta bring my guy, into the show. Oh, he going incognito on us. He's on the witness protection program.
No, I'm right here now. Hey, bro, ain't nothing shy about me.
Yeah,
I'm just in my car, so I was trying to, but I'm here.
Yeah, man, we balancing the scales now. This is beautiful. Thanks for joining us. We got Man on here, also known as Def Chef, and also known as dang, I can't even think. I'm going blank now, man. God,
Def Dab. It says it right there, Def Dabster.
Okay, you got so many aliases, man. I was gonna try to throw out your MC name, man. But
man, nobody worried about that.
Yeah, listen, man. What you been hearing about this Shine thing, man? Like people been kind of like throwing shade on Shine. Ha, pun intended. They've been throwing some shade on Shine, because he's a little politician now, and they just saying he's kind of a square. What's your take on it?
Nah, I mean, you know what the thing is what? Being square is cool then. If he's a square, I wish I was more of a square. Mm-hmm. He's affecting policy with everything he's been through. This dude's a real deal public official. Cats ain't looking at the long game. He's a long gamer. A lot of us are sprinters. Sprinters don't got long life in the track game. This how come there's always the fastest man in the world. With the distance running, it don't happen like that. They got Mount Rushmores, they got real hills. So if it's a situation of, Shine's a square right now, I love it. Because when was the last time he got caught up in a shooting? When was the last time he got caught up in some nigga shit? That's just how I'm looking at it. I hope my son's square. If this is what square gets you,
no.
Because before he wasn't square, that nigga was like in Clinton. I don't know the facility, but where did he go?
But here's my thing, it's always leading to something, how I do. So I'm looking at this, man. So would you rather a black person be incarcerated or aligning themselves with racists? Now, come on now. Hold on, man.
I like this. Let's get it.
But listen,
okay.
This is the question I wanted to lead everyone to right now. This is it. Because there's a strong possibility that when you start getting into these politics, you start aligning yourself to stay yourself out of jail and stay out of trouble. I'm not saying this is the situation with Shine, but this has happened many times in history. You start aligning yourself with people and policies and institutions that are categorically against Black folks. So which is worse? What would you exactly? He could be a part of some kind of, you know what I'm saying? Or we've seen Black people. Because I don't even know the situation. From a journalistic point of view, I don't even feel comfortable and confident speaking on Shine. But we've seen Black people who have gotten out of highly militant, pro-Black organizations, you know what I'm saying, had the man put their knee on their neck, and then they get out, and then they'll be talking about, oh man, it's all about, you know, prison reform, but they are aligning themselves with people who are trying to put as many Black people in prison as possible. We've seen this so many times. So my question is, I really want to know what our community would rather have: a Black person to be incarcerated or aligning themselves with racists, or even if there's something in between. If it's more nuanced than that, we can speak on it too. They don't have to be so binary. It don't have to be so black and white or hot and cold. Danny, Precious, I mean, you know.
What you mean by incarcerate? That mean they in prison and they can't do anything. Like they're in the system, they can't do anything.
Let me give you a perfect example.
Or did he had a past prison record? Like what are we insinuating with that?
All right, that's a good question. Let me give you a perfect example. Okay. Would you rather Candace Owens be in prison or aligning herself with racists? Would you?
She's already aligning herself with racists, so please go to prison.
But what she?
So please go to prison. See, she answered the question.
You guys about to have, man. I'm not about to be sitting up here defending Ken. Come on, bro. Like, oh, go ahead, ladies. Go ahead, ladies. I mean, you got it.
I mean, the thing is, whether either one of the
she's already aligning herself for racists. So go.
I mean, she already is technically, but my thing with Candace Owens is that regardless she was incarcerated or not, it's not going to be a benefit. It's not a negative or it's not a benefit or it's not a plus or a minus for us. So it's just like she's a non-factor. So no matter which route she go, the result, we're going to get the same result regardless. So
I disagree.
Go ahead, Logic.
No, I would rather align herself with racists, man. Because once you in prison, it's really
man. Look,
I don't want no Black person in prison.
Man. This might be one of the few times me and this man agree.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I'm gonna go.
At least you can change your mind.
I'm still here.
At least you can change your mind. If you in prison, it's 3 hots in a cot. You're not getting out of that. She could turn around tomorrow.
Prison, hey, I don't care. Prison is not the place for a Black woman. Prison, hell no. Nope.
I don't wish harm on nobody, but I still stand by what I said when it comes to Candace.
I hear you. No, I hear you. I
mean, I guess we could say align themselves with racists because I kind of look at this. For Black people, unless you're working for a Black-owned business or whatnot, or you are an entrepreneur, you are more likely working with racist white people day to day. So, with that being said,
I ain't saying you tried it.
I mean, unless you are in a system where most people are Black like yourself, to where y'all can think on a similar level, more than likely the white person you're going to be working with or for may have some prejudice or bias to them.
No, I hear you. But
so align themselves with races, sometimes that's going to be the inevitable, depending on what you're trying to do. But the question is for the Black person who align themselves is, how are you going to be able to not be consumed by their beliefs and you can stay onto your own and still accomplish what you're trying to accomplish?
I'm glad you asked that. We got to make a conscious decision to not be that. To me, I feel I'm a perfect example. Just the idea every single day, I have to make a conscious decision to make sure I'm Blacker today than I was yesterday, lets me know what I'm dealing with. Straight up and down. I make it a point to try to be as Black as I could be for however whatever you want to make it, however you want to spin it, I'm not here to argue. But I know that my back is so against the wall, I have to make conscious pro-Black decisions. It's beyond how I feel. It's way deeper than that. And you know what? Whether we admit it or not, I know there's a bunch of Black people who are thinking like me, but for whatever reason, you just can't say it the way I say it. But that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that?
But
Explain
man,
to
look,
him.
let's be honest. Logic's known me for years. I've been pro-Black the whole time. Listen, because I'm brainwashed. This is why I'm the way I am. I've been so miseducated and so led astray that now anything I do, there's a pro-Black thought leading the way. Yes, I make decisions based on, is it going, just because I feel this way, what's going to help my people? Whatever's going to help my people, I'm going with that. But there's a
Which can
reason
also
for that.
lead you to prison.
Huh?
Which can also lead you to prison.
Absolutely.
Being pro-Black.
Oh, hey,
okay.
Real deal. Look, I'm a race soldier. I'll go to prison for y'all in a minute. And you're stupid. Look, I've been making bad decisions the whole time. Well, I'm not going to act like that.
Why not go to prison for someone? If you've been making decisions that could have landed you in prison, why not go to prison for a good reason?
That's all I'm saying. Okay. Now, I'm not, and you know what? We do need to stay out of prison, right?
Right.
If I make that decision, yes, it's stupid. This is why if you said, oh, that nigga dumb, I wouldn't argue with you with it, but I wouldn't lose sleep either. Just like hey, look, when I was doing dumb shit, whenever I got in trouble, I got, however it went, but like I never stayed up at night in King County. I went to sleep. I ate the sandwich, all that. I'm good. Hey, bro, I ate the sandwich, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I went there and didn't eat. I did. I ran into the homies in there. I ran into Bill.
But the reason why, look, some people might be watching this or listening to this and being like, man, why are you baiting us on really like juvenile binary questions? But I think it's the reason why this is such an important question is because a lot of times we lack the empathy for another Black person. And when we come across a Tim Scott, when we come across a Candace Owens, Tim Scott's the one brother, you know what I'm saying? I think that he refused to file charges against the police officers who shot Breonna, if I'm not mistaken. But just look him up. Look up Tim Scott.
Was he a DA or something?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, he's doing his job.
But listen, yeah, exactly. Or when we some people are just as hard on Obama, right? Some people are just as hard on Vice President. Sorry, man, I can't think right now. Vice President
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, for her, her work that she did, you know what I'm saying, as a prosecutor when she was in California. Like, always bringing up the amount of Black people that, she put in prison, and, how she, created that policy and that law to send, Black parents, that they say targeted Black parents, of kids who had extreme truancy, that they would go to court, you know what I'm saying, and maybe, serve jail time. My point I'm trying to make is I think a lot of times when we're dealing with these collection of Black people that we have so much disdain for aligning themselves with racists, whether it, be Kamala, whether it be Candace, whether it be Tim Scott, or even Obama, it's like we're saying they get whatever's coming to them because of their alignment with a racist institution. And it's almost like we're saying, I'd rather them be incarcerated than to be aligned with a racist.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. See, here's the whole thing. If I'm the founder of a gang and we spread to 3 states, in the time zone I'm in. What am I? Am I a revolutionary, or am I a footstool or a hand to racism? Niggas scream this free Larry Hoover shit. That's all good. Like, you know me, bro. I
tough
never
one,
have
man.
a
That's a
problem
tough
just
one,
saying
man.
what I have to say.
That's
Sorry
a tough
for
one.
saying cuss words on your platform too.
No, it's all good.
Cassidy screaming free Larry Hoover. We ain't even screaming free Mamiya. Right? When Matulu was locked up, Cass was saying scream Matulu because that was Tupac's stepdad, not for his actual works. You was there. Mm-hmm. You heard it. You seen it. What I'm trying to figure out, being an advocate for white supremacy, what does it look like? Does it look like the Jermaine who will hold us accountable, or the Jermaine that was trying to be a street nigga? You tell me. Right? Because you know what I've noticed, bro? The type of disrespect I receive now as a community guy, they didn't talk to me like that before, bro. You know me. I ain't never been a bitch. People call me bitches now. Fuck niggas. I'll pull up on you. Remember we had the conversation about how we treat educators.
What?
It's bananas.
I didn't never know. I've never heard anyone refer to you.
Bro, you got to keep up, bro. Facebook's a fool. Bro, I done had niggas tell me they gonna pull up. Then when they see me, it's a whole different conversation. I'm not an emotional guy, but I'm gonna see where we at with it. But I'm just saying, before, when something would really happen behind that type of stuff wasn't going on. This is what goes on now. Bro, you cannot fucking tell me, since you've been who you've been and where you're at, we don't try you more.
Yeah.
When we was teenagers, I don't recall dudes trying you and doing this stuff. But on Facebook, lean back, because you already know. Like, it's crazy.
Go ahead, Precious. I know Precious wanted. She been itching to say something. Go ahead.
See, Logic, that go back to our previous.
Yeah,
go back to what we were just talking about, Miss Dan. I did not say that. I kept saying it. Before you came on board, sir, we were talking about, do black men criticize other black men more than black women criticize other black women? Me and Danny believe that both gender do it both. We think that the impact what men does is on a higher level than what women do.
We are terrible. We're terrible. Listen, look.
Rest my case.
Whatever you were saying, it's way worse than that. You know it. Look, if there's anyone who's gonna massage it, it's gonna you. Do y'all ladies have black sons?
I have no children.
No children? Okay. Well, what I'm gonna say is that even without that, black women are usually gonna be like, well, this is the way it is. Oh, that's their love. Like, I've heard all the excuses, right? And you know what? To an extent, I can accept it. But at this point, it's clear that black men, from a collective standpoint, we don't fucking like each other. And I don't see the problem in us just saying it. Social media is the great equalizer. All we got to do is type in the keywords, press send, and it's going to come up. Right? Perfect example. Like I told Logic, we don't even respect the black men who are the educators no more. We'll respect a thief, a killer, a pimp, a dope fiend before we will a tenured principal. And you know what? I'm on some raccoon shit to say that, right? Oh man, you coon ass nigga. This nigga's gonna bring up, oh, you act like you ain't never did nothing.
This episode is gonna be shadow.
Bro, I'm 49 years old. Are you really gonna hold me to what I was at 16? This is how bad we want to be buffoons. Go ahead. Because I'm going on my rant.
I just said it. I just had a poem. I just had a dialogue. What you just said, sir. That's exactly what I was saying. I don't think us black women really do that to each, at least to other.
Not like
other
we
women.
do.
Well,
Let me say that. But go ahead, Logic.
Let me, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm gonna say.
Right.
It's not a competition. It's not. It's not. I don't care if it doesn't matter to me if we do it more. But let me put it in a perspective for y'all, because I'll go ahead and own that. But listen, I think the biggest. Oh, here we go. put your sound on mute. Listen, the biggest perspective that we need to amplify here is that in many of our communities, black men still have established social power, more social power than black women. We got our fraternal orders, we got our motorcycle clubs, we got our our fraternities, we got our Masonic orders, things of the nature. We got Nation of Islam, we got the church. I just now named several institutions and several programs and organizations that are led predominantly black men at the leadership positions. Meaning, if a black woman does something in our community, it's less likely to threaten their leadership and their power base than a black man. That's why they're going to be harder on another black man. For instance, that's why the Black Panthers, one of the Black Panthers' biggest competitors outside of the government, was pimps and drug dealers. This is a lot of stuff that cats don't want to talk about. I read Aaron Dixon's book. He used to talk about how the drug dealers and the gangsters and the pimps used to hate the Black Panthers. Why? Because they threaten their power base. So I think that's where a lot of this angst and this anxiety and paranoia that comes from black men who are doing dirt in the streets, who are grimy, they have this disdain and opposition towards black men that are trying to do it right because they're competition. But it's not just like competition that it's going, it's not no big deal. No, it's competition that can really get people turning the other way. Like an educator literally is a threat to the drug dealer because you're taking away their outreach and you're taking away their employees. I was talking to my partner who used to work in the schools in Watts. And I'm like, oh, man, come on. You know educators still get a pass, don't they? He said, not in Watts, not no more, Logic. We don't get a pass. They're rolling up on you. They're giving you a warning. And then the next thing you know, they're going to shoot up your car or your house. Why? Stop telling Malik to stay after school and study math. He needs to stay after school and work these streets. Keep messing with us and see what happens. And I think can someone put their thing on mute? Someone's put that on mute real quick. I think what happens with black women is we really don't see the kind of harm that a black woman will do to another black man is when that prize gets really, really, really big. And it's usually a black man because he's the key to the power. He's the key to the power in our neighborhoods. Hating on another black woman usually is because their man sees something that, he might be attracted to. A black woman will give credit, give praise towards another black woman until they become a threat to what they're trying to get at. And that usually, unfortunately, in a patriarchal, misogynistic society is a black man or a man.
I can agree with that.
We control the resources. So that's what I always meant, that black men have more power. That's the reason why it hits harder when we do something. Like an educator can really come in and what these fraternal orders, like Bobby was telling me some stuff about the fraternities and how you got to be elected and you got to bring someone to the table and how all these politics, play a part in that. And a lot of what you're talking about, what we talked about, how black men look at shine, that goes into that too. It's like, if I wanted to be an alpha or a sigma or, well, shoot, man, Jermaine knows he's in a fraternity like that.
Yeah, I'm a Kappa.
You're right. So that plays a part. So I think it hits harder and just hits different when men do it towards each other because there's so much at stake. Like if you bring this cat up in, this fraternal order, and he could be the next Malcolm X and be threatening the throne of Elijah Muhammad. He got to go. He's talking about Elijah Muhammad sleeping with 14-year-olds. He's talking about how the Nation of Islam is, coordinating and collaborating with the KKK. He's talking about this. He's talking about the white man really ain't the devil. I've been to Mecca. Oh, man, he's going to start his own movement. Oh, he got to go. He's a threat. Unfortunately, how our system is set up is when women make fun of other women and threaten them, it's not really because they're a threat. Unless it's talking about access to a man, because the man equals access to resources.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. And I kind of go back to our a few C-talks ago where we were talking about the quote unquote classic church girl versus ratchet ones. I think that plays a big role. I think those classic church girl look at the ratchet girl as competition to a man. Because classy girls, I keep saying the classy church girl, they get gaslit the most. They think if that ratchet girl is in the picture, she's a competition because there are black men who do enjoy and attracted, entertain, procreate, and even marry those type of women, and that rubbed them the wrong fucking way. So they gotta find a way to take them out the competition. What's the best way to do it? By making her seem like she's the fucking devil.
Yeah, because she's the side chick a lot of times. The sexy reds. Because you know what a lot of guys say, she do what my wife don't do.
Maybe she does.
But it also go, but you know what I call this? I call all this stuff. Like if we just take it back to the epicenter of our trauma, and it's the plantation. If we study the plantation, we will be able to get closer to addressing our problems, because all this stuff is plantation politics. This is the same reason why field Negroes did not like house Negroes, because of their proximity to whiteness. But that's also the reason why the slave master created the house Negro, because it drove a wedge in between the two. They were quote unquote biracial, and like, you pick a side. We know you what side you more likely to pick. Look at your hair, look at your skin color, look at how those Negroes in the field treat you. You better side with us. Let us know when they're going to start a revolution and an insurrection.
Bro, the house nigga get a bad rap, bro.
They do. But
the
getting raped
gets a bad rap, bro.
Getting raped and getting beat
you know what?
is just as bad, whether it happened in the house or in the field.
A whole lot of you race soldier-minded brothers, they would have had you in the house. You didn't have a choice. Like, I think that sometimes we forget people wasn't clamoring for that position, bro. They put you in there. You just said it. They created that. Nobody wanted that spot, bro.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. You can look at it from, man, Jermaine, I'm glad you brought that up. If you study plantation politics, you would know that the people in the house be down there looking at the people in the field like, man, I just wish I could be down there, partying and frolicking with them. You know what I mean? And I wish I wasn't such associated and aligned with this slave master, because I got children with this dude.
Not only that, the field slaves have a better opportunity to escape.
Yeah, it's a possibility. But here's another thing that
I heard one story about the house nigga that escaped. Not a one.
Well, here's the deal.
To educate me.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. There's a lot of instances of people in the house who escaped by poisoning master. There we go. Talk to me nice. It's definitely a chessboard. And here's another thing that I learned while studying on the actual grounds of the plantations. It's one thing to read the stuff in the books. I highly recommend and encourage Black folks to actually go there and study it. Did you know that the majority of house Negroes did not live in the house? They didn't. They had to travel outside the house and go back into their shack.
I'm gonna keep
very
it real.
few.
I didn't know any of them lived in the house. I was always under the assumption that it was like work. You don't live where you work. That's where you work.
There you go. Yes. There are
I didn't even know there was any house niggas with rooms, bro.
No. Here's the deal. There are occasions there will be wet nurses that slept on the floor of the master because they had to be there to breastfeed the children. So they might have slept on the floor. You feel me? Or if they were enslaved in a house and there was no field, like in New Orleans. You know, you hear the story about the one white woman who lived in New Orleans in the French Quarter who had the enslaved black people up in a dungeon, and she had them chained up and she was mutilating them and doing all kinds of stuff.
Madam, whatever her name was.
Yeah. So they all lived in the house. I'm not even trying to be funny. I know that sounds petty, but they all lived in the house because they didn't have no field in the French Quarters. So there's different levels to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like Jermaine said, it's not like anyone was just like, hey, yeah, I'll go to the house. Yeah, that sounds like that sounds cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same politics. It's the same politics of making, it don't matter. People were making fun of Shine when he was doing dirt, when he took the bid for Puffy. He was stupid. Oh, that Negro's stupid. Oh, man, look at him. He's dumb. And then he was stupid. Now he's stupid as a politician. Look at him. He's a square now. God dang. What's in the middle? What's in the middle? Working for UPS and
mediocrity, complacency.
Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of makes me wonder if that's why black men still put Tupac on a high pedestal, because Tupac didn't live long enough, unfortunately, to grow up out of that gang bang that he was doing. He pretty much got killed and passed away in that lifestyle. So he been immortalized as this thug life individual. And I think that may be a reason why black men still put him on a high pedestal, because he still represented that past life. He still represented that life internally, even in death. He didn't have a chance. He didn't live long enough to grow out of it or to grow up to gain some wisdom to get away from it.
I think that's a good point. And to add on to what you said, that's a great episode. That'll be another great episode, because there's so many examples in the black community, especially with celebrities like Tupac, that represent the best of both worlds. Tupac is probably on the same level as like an Oprah or an Obama. Like with black folks, there are a few black people. There's a selection that you can't say nothing about them. I say Tupac's up there.
Sure.
Right up there with Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson was not a good example. Sorry.
Listen, go ahead and try to say something bad about Michael Jackson, even with the molestation, even with the changing of his skin color, and watch how the majority of people will come for your head like they come for your head if you try to come from Beyonce. Try it. It'll be a foul on the play. Try it. Hey, people out there in the comments, get on there. Make me a list of the black people who can do no wrong that you were, man. That Michael Jackson following is hard.
No, we roast Michael Jackson so bad, but maybe Prince, Beyonce, and who did you say first? Tupac.
Obama's on there too. Oprah, she's on the list.
There's a lot of people that don't. Obama's not a good example to me either. A lot of people feel like he didn't do anything for black people, and I'm not just speaking from my perspective.
That's not the majority of black people. Most black people, you always gonna find some small group of black people that's gonna say something bad about Beyonce. Yeah, they're part of the Illuminati. She's married to a camel. What else they gonna say? She's really 56 years old. What else they gonna say? Blah, 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 blah.
Fair. Right? Obama, he is highly regarded, but I don't,
Yeah, I don't know if he on that day that nobody can say nothing bad, because people have critique about, they may not be slandering or anything like that. I don't know. I'll put Michelle Obama before Barack Obama. I would say Michelle Obama before Barack. Honestly, if
Yeah, that's a good point. I see that.
I'll probably put her on that pedestal before I put Barack. I think people.
I'm not saying that we don't roast Michael Jackson. We roast all these people to a certain degree, right? Yeah, we roast Michael. He made it too easy. If he didn't make it so easy, what I'm saying is try to put Michael Jackson adjacent to R. Kelly, knowing that they have similar, allegations and stuff that they did with children, and you watch how people come to his defense.
Sure, I can agree.
They
with
will
that.
they will gaslight the heck out of you. Like there's something right about a grown ass man hanging out with kids and going to bed with them and letting them sip on wine. That's okay. Like last time I checked, you would not let your kids be babysat by a person that had any of the characteristics of Michael Jackson. Oh yeah, who's your babysitter? Oh, it's this dude who used to be kind of like brown skin. Now he's really pale, looks like an Asian woman, and he wears one glove and he wears high waters, and he kind of looks like a guy who's a bullfighter, and he talks in a high voice, and he has an amusement park. And I forgot to mention he's 49 years old. That's your babysitter? Okay, girl, I'm not. But people, but people were standing in line to have their children around Michael Jackson so they could drink Jesus juice together.
Trying to think who's another black person that can't do no wrong. Angela Bassett's another one. You can't do no wrong.
Maya Angelou.
For sure.
Maya Angelou. You know where I'm going with this, Jermaine? This woman was a whole madam. She was a whole pimp in San Diego.
Nah, but listen, though. We don't know about that.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. You know it.
Okay.
Y'all do. No, listen. Y'all three I'm looking at, I know you know.
Whole pimp.
See, here's the thing. No, wait. You know what? You know what's wrong? You know what be wrong with you educated black intellectuals? Y'all be thinking we know something. We fucking don't. Okay? We don't. Man, see, y'all about to get me in trouble because I am not here to put my people under a microscope. But we all know there's levels to this shit. How many times have I said, right? We have our personal groups with the chats. How many times have I said, y'all entertain niggas who couldn't even in real life talk to us? You're not learned enough. You're not qualified. You don't know enough random information. You don't read. You don't keep up with this shit. But on social media, and see this dude laughing because I really get tight about this shit. Logic knows. Let me tell you about this guy since it's so funny right now. He's the number one culprit of this. People, Precious, I'm not saying these aren't intelligent people. You don't do what we do. You're not part of the black intellectual movement or whatever we want to call it. So we get online, right? And I understand, right? This is the beautiful thing about educators. Everybody has something to say. Everybody's opinion is valuable. No one's opinion is worth more than anyone else, like Mrs. Jackson. But we all know, in reality, there's some people who shouldn't be talking. And what's being allowed, people who shouldn't be talking, they don't even get their 3 or 4 minutes. We let them keep coming back. You're not learned. You're not a critical thinker. You don't have a high emotional intelligence.
Jermaine,
what, Logic?
You're being a gatekeeper right now.
No, look, he loved. Okay, that's fine.
Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap it up. We got to have a part 2 on this.
Let me just say about
we got to come back to this.
I want to say that about Maya Angelou. You're right. Now, most people, black people, gonna say anything negative about Maya Angelou, but I do have a bit of a bone with her a little bit because of when she was on. I forgot what talk show she was on, but I remember. I'm sure y'all probably have seen it in recent time. They have brought it up. This young girl asked Maya Angelou a particular question, and she addressed her as Miss Maya. And of course, Miss Maya Angelou, of course, being the older woman that she was, she did correct her. Well, it's Miss Angelou to you, and that's fine that she wanted to be addressed a certain way. I think if you want to be addressed already, that's nothing wrong to
But
correct
yeah,
the person.
that ain't the time.
But she went in on that girl about why she didn't like the fact how she addressed her, but she did not ever answer the question that she wanted to ask. And
That
I
ain't
think the
cool.
girl, that shit wasn't cool to me.
That
And
ain't cool.
she
Damn,
asked the question.
is that all we
And
got on Maya? Damn.
yeah, Maya
No, we're
Angelou.
not getting into what you want to talk about, brother. Okay?
Yeah, because I think
Precious
the girl
got the
asked
floor.
Maya Angelou
Don't
about
interrupt,
interracial
sir.
dating.
Thank you.
I
She
think she was
gets a
talking about
pass
that shit.
in my book. I don't care about her being a whole madam. I mean, back then, sex work and all that stuff was a thing. So,
No, I don't know. I don't it don't mind me. No, I just think, yeah. I just thought it was kind of funny that that's how Precious got on her.
But that's because I thought the way she did it was so nasty. I'm like, you could
No,
just say I'd rather be preferred to that. And well, on the answer the girl question, like the way that she responded to it, like it was like a 3-minute sort of diss that she kind of did. I'm like, damn, that was nasty as fuck.
and you know what? I hate that about us, how quick we are to just go for the jugular of our youngsters. Like that, that's just some stuff she could have been like, oh well, I would prefer that. Like she could have did it much better. I'm not even privy to what you're talking about, but I know you wouldn't make this up. I'm certain I could just fucking Google it or YouTube it and it's gonna come up. But I know that also to be true because that is my people. We do that. And I try not to get caught up in certain things, right? I try not to point certain things out. But I will say, as we get older, we do be having a disdain for the youth, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And,
that's a
and
whole
to me,
different
that's what that is.
yeah. That's a whole different episode. But
A whole episode. We'll do that another time.
yeah. I do want to do an episode with us four, and I want to have Danny to have the last word before we go into the plan of action because she been what you over? He's always instigating, laughing and stuff.
No, bro, go ahead.
What? I don't even know what's going on.
No, I'm going on mute, bro.
Okay, it's one of those things. I don't even know what he's laughing about. He's just funny. I just known him for so long. He's just funny. But listen, I want to do an episode with all four of us, and we talk about the black folks that always get a pass. And I would love to have a nice little argument and debate, about that because I got my list. I got my top 5. And damn it, yes, Michael Jackson is at the top of the list. Yep. And I think Elijah Muhammad might be right below him. You can't say nothing wrong about Elijah Muhammad, man. I'm telling you. But listen,
what you mean you can't say nothing
I'm
wrong?
already confused by this conversation because you said he shouldn't be putting nobody down. Now you're talking about why we don't need to get folks a pass.
No, I'm not saying
I would
why
love
we
to have the
shouldn't.
conversation too, because here's the way I look at it. If it's wrong today, it was wrong yesterday.
That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily
what?
True. That's not
Bro.
true. I mean, that's
okay.
That's
Tell me, give me an example.
Bro, we ain't got time for this, bro. We've been on for 2. No, it's not.
Okay,
it's not.
You know what?
You know damn well you ain't got me, bro. You know I got a hella example for this. No,
brother.
No.
Listen. Okay, you want me to give you some specific examples?
I'll give you an example. Okay, I can give you because I know it's going to be another long conversation.
Okay, you got it.
Back in the 50s and 60s and the 70s, we were at war. Okay, I would say that it was. Now? It's different now. It's different.
Okay,
it's different. I would say it would be totally different than I think it was. I understood. I think it was justified for Malcolm to get murdered. He made an oath and he dedicated his life to that, and they murdered that man. Now, if they did that to Umar Johnson, that's the same thing, but it's wrong in 2023. That's the argument I
it
would
was
make.
wrong then. That's how come.
No,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. You feel some sort of way about that. See, this is the intellectual talking. You're not cool with what happened to Malcolm
no,
because
I'm
you know
not.
what we lost.
I'm not cool with it, but it was a justified murder.
How?
It was. He
No,
gave an oath. He gave an oath to the Nation
no.
of Islam. Yes, he
Listen.
did.
He gave
Bro, you
an
know,
oath. He gave an oath to us, and they wasn't what they proclaimed to be, and that was hurtful. See,
but
what?
no, this is where we disagree with. Two things can be true at the same time.
Yep.
He gave the oath to the Nation of Islam first.
And who was the Nation of
And he
Islam
said,
supposed to be
wait, hold
representing?
on a second. Jermaine, now come on, bro. We dealing with real organizational politics. That's why I said it's a false equivalence, because they were at war. He made an oath in an organization. He was in a military organization, bro. And he made an oath.
To what?
To live and die by that oath. And he said, I shall give my life before my
bro?
shall
You know
fail.
John Sims, right?
Nuh-uh.
Yes, you do. He went to school with us.
Probably by.
You know Kidda Tosha? You know Kidda? She make the Hawaiian cakes.
Hold on, man. Time out, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get real specific.
Jermaine, stop.
John is on Farrakhan's security detail. I can promise you, John ain't took no oath to protect pedophiles.
But he did take an oath to deal with it within the Nation of Islam. He was not supposed to share that information. He was not supposed to share that info with the outside, bro. I'm not saying that I'm okay with him being killed.
Oh, I know.
However,
you ain't saying that.
I understand, and it was justified because he gave an oath within that organization. He gave an oath to that organization that he would not speak on those things to outside people, and he did. So he gave his life for it. It was a justified, but that's something different nowadays. We're not really doing that kind of stuff like this. We got to go to the plan of action. Come on, bro.
Yeah, this is something. Maybe we found our real point of contention. Maybe this is something we can really do something with. Because my thing is that when you take an oath to something, what you taking the oath to got to be consistent. It can't be like some amoeba shit that transforms according to a nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like this is a man right here. This is idolatry. Let
me put it this way, bro.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying. Let me give it to you another perspective, and we got to go. Seriously. He was even fine with him dying. He knew what he was doing. I'm leaving the Nation of Islam, and if anyone kills me, I'm letting you know it's them. Because he had made a decision to give his life.
And so what I'm saying is this: who do we respect more? The person who stand for something, or the person who got a power? Because just think about what he gave up to tell us that truth, my G.
I respect both. I respect any organization that's willing to kill for their foundations, even if it's something that doesn't always make sense. That's why we praise Fidel Castro. You think everyone that Fidel Castro put in prison and killed was justified? Nope. But
no,
what did Malcolm say?
By
any means necessary. By any means necessary. Malcolm said that.
So, by any means necessary. Look, my thing is this. Anybody can speak on pedophilia. Hold up, because I know you gotta go. You're a busy man. Anybody can speak on pedophilia, but it takes a special type of man to start at home. That's what Malcolm did. That's what he was. And that's the example we need to have. There's too many individuals who's for something until it's at their doorstep. Then they want to deal with oaths and loyalties and all that shit, when really they're supposed to be being loyal to the greater program. It's bigger than Islam. It's bigger than Chicago or Mosque 19. I don't know all this stuff. See, then this is where you come in. You're more learned about this stuff than me, right? But I do know this. standing for something is a dangerous thing.
And I think, and I know in my heart, based on the story, that Malcolm and you are saying the same thing. Malcolm
Absolutely.
didn't gaslight us. He said, "I'm going to die for this," and the Nation of Islam did it because I went against my oath.
I mean, I look at it like he actually upheld the oath deeper than they ever imagined it could be.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I might want some smoke with you on this topic, bro.
I have a question. This is a whole nother topic too.
All right, go ahead, Danny. Go ahead, Danny.
So you guys watched Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was his name? Killmonger? Am I saying that wrong?
No, that's right.
Okay,
yeah.
so do you think that he should have died or should have stayed alive based on what you're saying right now?
I think that it happened exactly how it was supposed to be happening. That's why they say Killmonger was Malcolm X and that T'Challa, it was Martin Luther King. But they both die in the end. Ooh.
Done.
Ooh.
Like it really happened, huh?
Ooh. That's why I said ooh. Too soon.
I can't say nothing to that.
This conversation, before we go to plan of action, this conversation about Malcolm and Rami, the conversation we had that you had with Carmelita, like a while back, we talked about that. And, we were thinking that should Michael S. has been spared. Of course, Carmelita's like, no, he should have been spared, because people make mistakes. But me and you were saying, no, he went against exactly what he signed up for. And that's usually unfortunately, how those things unfold. Eventually, your life will be taken away.
Yeah.
So technically, in that sense, I can see what logic is saying. Technically, that will be a justifiable death for that time, for the time that they're in now. By today's standards, no, because I don't even think they roll deep like that anymore. But I don't know. Malcolm X's daughter kind of turned up, passed away.
Oh, ain't nothing changed. Ain't
who knows?
They still.
There ain't there, Jermaine. You even said it, bro. Like the people who's not even allowed in the circles to have conversations because they're not really scholars. They have a space on social media. I can't think of one person who is highly successful on social media that can even get in the same clothes as our ancestors who dedicated their life to this.
Facts, bro.
I can't think. So what are you supposed to be like? Okay, young Pharaoh, Bobby Seals, false equivalents. You know what I'm saying? Even Dr. Umar, Malcolm X, false equivalents. I can't think of anyone who's really, what's the dude's name? Whatever Keys, 82 Keys or whatever.
Bro, really 19 Keys.
19 Keys.
Man, bro, that nigga a scammer, B.
Leave me alone, Danny.
Nah, bro, because
Danny over here laughing.
Okay, all right, that's okay. Go ahead. Because you know what? I know you're gonna give me an opportunity down the line to address this.
Because I think
we gonna talk about the Hotep scammers? Because they giving us a bad name, bro.
I don't even like you using the word Hotep like that. But anyway.
Well, that means, bro, no, that's Egyptian for peace. What's the problem?
Exactly, but because it's an epithet now. It's almost like an epithet now. Like you're using it in the wrong way.
See, the action plan is, first of all, are you going to the action plan?
Thank you, Danny. This is
the action plan. We need to stop talking about our people on public spaces. That's what we need to stop doing. That's part of the action plan.
Oh, damn. So you saying, are we in violation right now? Damn.
We need to keep it, or we need to keep it amongst us, number one.
Damn. Okay. I like that. That's a good topic.
But now I'm thinking about everything Precious said earlier.
Oh, you kind of bloomed out.
Yeah, you crazy. Say that one more time.
Oh yeah, see now, like, see, this is what I be saying. If we were sitting up and we disrespecting each other, the stream ain't gonna go out. There ain't gonna be no problems. The stream never go bad when we're on some buffoonery. Only when we trying to build.
What you saying, Danny? I'm sorry, you had zoomed out.
I was just saying, but it just makes me think a lot about what you were saying earlier. But yeah, we're just going to keep talking in circles. But I do think the action plan needs to be, we need to keep a lot of this stuff close to our chest.